Hi, Untold Miracles listeners. I am so excited for you to listen to this week's guest with the one and only Gabby Bernstein. She has been a mentor of mine for so many years. She's a New York Times bestselling author. She has a new book coming out today, Super Attractor, and you're going to learn so much from her in this interview. How to forgive, how to manifest miracles in your life, how to find your purpose. This is one you won't want to miss. So grateful for Gabby and the miracles that she creates, and I hope you enjoy the listen. Thank you. This is Kelly Davis, your host of the Untold Miracles podcast, and I am beyond excited for today's guest. She's a New York Times bestselling author of 6 books, an international speaker, a spiritual thought leader, and New York Times called her a role model for a new generation of spiritual seekers. I'm one of her biggest fans. Her books have created miracles for me, especially The Universe Has Your Back, Miracles Now, Spirit Junkie, Judgment Detox, and I'm super excited for her new book, Super Attractor, that comes out today. Gabby Bernstein, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Well, I can't think of a more qualified person to be on the Untold Miracles podcast. You are a conduit for miracles, but most importantly, you have taught people how to create and allow for miracles. I just want to acknowledge you and thank you so much for being my mentor and my teacher.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. And I'm so happy to support you in any way I can and everyone.
For 16 years, you've helped people tune into their spiritual voice, and I'd love for you to share your journey and the catalyst that helped you tap into your spiritual awareness and healing.
Sure. There's been many, but I started off as a spiritual teacher when I was 25 years old, and that was the catalyst for becoming a speaker and author and spiritual teacher, was really having my own spiritual awakening. And it began probably much younger than I even realized, but it really hit me when I was 25 years old, and I had been living in a very different way than I am today, really living for the outside world's approval and living for the credentials, and ultimately was bottoming out with drugs, alcohol, and that outside perception of myself. And so in October of 2005, I got sober, making the commitment to stop looking outside and start to turn inward to seek my well-being, happiness, and safety and confidence. At which point I started to really get very committed to my spiritual practice, then began to share it very publicly, which really was the catalyst for the career that I have today. I've continued to do that for the past, since 2005. So I've been on this journey of really going through my own experiences, using my spiritual tools and belief systems and methods, and then teaching others how to do the same.
Oprah is one of your biggest fans as well, and you spoke at her Super Soul series last year and gave a life-changing talk about 5 steps to spiritual surrendering. I've listened many times, and one of my favorite lines is, when your plans are getting in the way of God's plans, it's time to surrender. And you've had some specific plans in place. Can you share the surrendering process that you've been through most recently?
Sure, absolutely. I mean, I surrender every day. There's many, many moments where I recognize, okay, slow down, sister, you got to surrender again. And I often say, when you think you've surrendered, surrender more, because we have so much that we try to control every day. And we have so much that we try to force or manipulate or make happen. But it's in those moments when we're doing nothing that we're guided to see what we really need to be doing, and that things actually work out for us. And I'm not saying be apathetic to life and don't work, but what I'm saying is stop obsessing, stop controlling, and just live. And in that freedom, all you need starts to unfold for you.
I think you've said the more we enjoy our lives in the uncertainty and struggle is the more we get closer to what we want.
Yeah.
And I have found that to be true for myself. Well, you are a doer, but as the years have gone by, you have let go of control and trusted others to help you. How were you able to lean into being instead of doing all of the time?
It's a real practice, I must say. But I thank my body for helping me do that, because our bodies will always reveal to us what our psyche is out of alignment, right? So I've had a lot of gut issues over the years, and I constantly am hit over the head with, okay, this is a psychosomatic thing. You have to chill out. And so my body has been this great teacher for me, forcing me to surrender, in some ways forcing me. I don't want to live with physical discomfort. So I have to really change what's going on in my mind and commit fully and completely. And in my case, really let go of the reins and let people help me, which has been probably one of the most important things I've learned to do. It's a commitment that I make, and I am very committed to it at this point in my life.
You've intensely studied the Course in Miracles, which teaches choosing love over fear. What are some tips that you use on a daily basis to choose love over fear?
In my new book, I talk about choosing again. And really, this is straight from A Course in Miracles, witnessing the fear-based thoughts and how it makes you feel, and forgiving the thought, and then choosing the next best thought, really choosing again. That is the premise of A Course in Miracles, is just choose again. And the more we choose again, the closer we get to connection to a higher power of our own understanding.
So many people are struggling to find their purpose, and you say that we find our purpose when we stop looking for it. We don't find our purpose, it finds us. How did your purpose find you?
I was looking to feel better, and in the pursuit of feeling better, and the commitment that I made to feeling better and getting sober and getting spiritual, my purpose found me, because I wasn't looking for purpose. I was looking for well-being. So if we focus on feeling good and getting better, then we'll be guided to what we do with that.
I was recently listening to a podcast that you did with Brendan Burchard as part of the You Can Heal Your Life Summit. And what struck me the most is that you said that it's okay to have fun along the way, and your success is based on how much fun you're having. How are you able to make fun along the way?
Oh, I mean, if I'm not having fun, then it won't work. So I have to have a good time. And if I'm not having fun, I'm going to be stressed out and I'll get sick and it'll be a pain. So fun is the priority. So I've got a lot ahead of me right now, and I take it one day at a time, and I am choosing to have a good time along the way. I really can't start thinking about what 2 weeks from now will look like. I have to think about what tomorrow looks like at the moment, or just today. And that's really having a good moment today and then showing up each day with that same attitude.
I love the Gabby cooking show because you can tell that you're having a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah.
Tell me more about that show, and what is your favorite recipe?
It's funny because that's such a great example. And I actually write about it in my book, Super Attractor. It's like that the things that we just do for fun, they are very supported. And so, I was at a party once, and this woman came up to me, and she's like looking at me across the room, and I was like, oh, she must be a reader or something. And she comes up to me, she goes, "You're that girl with the Gabby cooking stuff." And I was like, of all the things I've done in my life, that's the thing that I'm being recognized for is really, really funny. And it's just a little Instagram show that I do where I just talk about what I'm cooking. I want to write a book about cooking fearlessly, and I don't use recipes, and I just and that I'm doing well mentally and feeling healthy and happy when I'm cooking. Because when I'm cooking, it's like the greatest meditation for me.
I don't remember how many years ago this was, but you just decided to stop sugar, stop anything unhealthy. Tell me how you made that decision, and how are you able to maintain that healthy lifestyle?
Yeah, I mean, it was about 6 years ago. I was chronically sick all the time. I was always getting colds and really taken down, and it was hard for me to travel. At which point I quit sugar, really took my health very seriously, and have continued to for the last 6 years. But I really believe that our health issues are a reflection of our mental state. So for me, I'm getting healthier and healthier every day as I go deeper and clear more and heal more of my fears from my childhood and just really get to a very, very strong place. My body is just responding so perfectly to that. I think it can be very supported with the foods that we eat, and we should be conscious of what we're eating and what we're putting into our body.
Well, I think our body, like you said, responds to our emotional state, and I think that when we have self-love, it definitely makes us healthier, but it's also one of the hardest things that we face on a daily basis. We all just want to be seen and heard and know what we say matters, as Oprah says. What tools do you lean into for self-love when your ego comes in and says, you're not enough?
I will often use that choose again method and start to reach for a better feeling thought, or I will let myself feel whatever I'm feeling in that moment. Because when we're having a thought that's like that, there's a feeling that needs to be released. And so I'll give myself permission to feel completely.
Another thing I think that leads to healthy body is choosing forgiveness in our life. And you teach a lot about forgiveness, and you shared in a recent podcast how you were able to forgive a former business partner and how you're still friends to this day. And I really loved what you said, because you pray for her to have what you want for yourself.
Right.
Which is her success. And if you can't celebrate another person's success, you're confirming your weakness. When we want more for others, we put ourselves in the energy of abundance, which creates more abundance.
That's right.
I would love for you to share a little bit more about this because I love this and I've been trying to practice this, but it's really, really difficult.
Yeah, that concept of wanting more for others will create more of what we want. When we're jealous or judgmental or attacking, then we're really blocking our capacity to receive. And we're blocking our capacity to give what we're really meant to give, which is that love. And so when we get into a negative state of judgment and attack, it can be really detrimental to our energy and to the relationships that we have as well. So really giving yourself that freedom from judgment is going to allow you to attract more into your life.
And people can also read Judgment Detox and learn a lot more about that process.
Exactly.
You recently spoke about dealing with postpartum anxiety and insomnia. Can you tell me what that experience felt like and how you were able to get help?
Yeah, that was a terrible experience. But I have to talk about it a lot because there's so many women that suffer from it. And, you know, that is silent suffering in many instances. And so they need to know that there's help and that there's support. And for me, I was really, really at the darkest moment of my life when I experienced that postpartum anxiety, depression, and insomnia. And it took me about 2.5 months to realize I had it. And then as soon as I realized I had it, I contacted a psychiatrist and got medical attention and medical help because this wasn't a biochemical issue and it wasn't something that I could fix with my thinking or my meditation or my faith really helped me though because it guided me to the right doctor and it guided me to the right practices and the right methods and the healing that I needed. But I'm really going to speak up about it a lot. I want women to know that there's help and support, and I really want women to not let themselves go being misdiagnosed or not diagnosed because they're ashamed of it. Mental health is a really shameful thing for people, and I've experienced it firsthand. And we have to talk about it more so we can take away the shame.
What's been the biggest challenge and biggest blessing of being a mother for you?
The biggest challenge was the postpartum. The biggest blessing, I like that one. Every single day is a blessing. It is such a miraculous thing. This person is so fantastic. His personality just keeps shining through. He reminds me so much of myself. He's so willful. He's so awesome. I mean, he's a fabulous person. I'm so happy to be his mom.
Oh, I love that. And for our listeners who don't know the story, you definitely had a timeline for when you wanted him to come into your life, but you were able to finally surrender, and it was beautiful to watch the miracle of his life come into your life. And a very, very inspiring lesson for all of us. How has your definition of miracles changed over the years, if at all?
It hasn't changed.
What is your definition?
Well, it's the same definition from A Course in Miracles, which is that a miracle is a shift in your perception. So the moment that you choose to lean towards that loving perspective instead, that is the miracle.
What is your favorite book that's not your own?
The Mind-Body Prescription by Dr. Sarno.
What's the favorite book that you've written? I know they're all your babies, but is there one that you had the most joy writing?
I had the most joy writing Super Attractor, my new book.
What can we look forward to? I know you've already talked about Choose Again, but what are some other things that we can look forward to in that book?
I'm going to be teaching you my daily design method. I'm going to be teaching you my spiritually aligned action method. There's a lot of methods that I'm going to be teaching in that book, and I'm not going to give them all away on this call.
Well, you can pre-order. I've pre-ordered mine on Amazon. Where else can people buy the book?
They can get it at any bookstore. You can go to GabbyBernstein.com/Super Attractor book, and that can give you a really good opportunity as well to get a gift when you pre-order. Get a 2-hour workshop with me when you pre-order.
Oh, that's amazing. That's so great. What brings you the most joy from your work?
The most joy from my work is speaking publicly.
Is there an event that was the most memorable for you? I'm assuming Super Soul was pretty cool.
Oh, yeah, there's a lot of memorable moments. I think that I've just been very lucky to be able to do something that is my art and to do it in a way that is in the service of others.
I have a favorite quote of yours, and it's, "The universe is always working on your behalf, but not working on our time."
Yeah.
I think that's so powerful. I want to know what your favorite quote is and what your favorite Wayne Dyer quote is.
My favorite Wayne Dyer quote is, "When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change." And my favorite quote of mine, that's a good question. I like obstacles or detours in the right direction. I like in stillness I receive.
What is something that most people would not know about you?
They wouldn't know that I can ride a unicycle. They may not know I'm like an organized mess, so I can be messy but organized at the same time. Yeah, that's a good one.
What is something that you enjoy doing when you get downtime outside of spending time with your husband and your son?
I love exercise. I love being in a sauna, walking outdoors, and cooking, as you know.
What are you most excited about right now other than your book coming out on the 24th?
I'm excited about going on the book tour and being live with so many people and just having fun.
The last question that I asked all of my guests is, if there were 3 miracles that you could create in the world today, what would that look like for you?
3 miracles I could create in the world today. Safety, security, and protection for all children, and health. And that's it. That's all I want.
That's all we need.
Yeah.
Well, I'm so excited. I've pre-ordered your book. I can't wait to read it. Gabby truly is a miracle worker, and I'm just so grateful for our time today. And thank you so much for all you do to create miracles, and hope you have a beautiful, amazing day.
Thank you so much.
Love's Travel Stops is brewing up something special for National Coffee Day. On September 29th and 30th, all large 24-ounce hot beverages are just $1. And that $1 is then donated to local Children's Miracle Network hospitals across the country. Thanks, Loves, for making miles of miracles every day.